going to be playing opposite of Denzel. The whole movie was those two guys. So Ethan said he watched all of Denzel's movies like a football team watches the other team's plays, so he wouldn't get eaten alive by Denzel Washington. I just thought that was such good research.
Yeah.
You know, and a lot of my parts, you know, are 30 to 40 seconds long, so I don't have to do a lot of homework in terms of who I was working with, you know. But also Al Pacino recently, because I did do a lead in a feature, my first one. It's not out yet, but I interviewed him just before I did it, and there was something about how he spoke about acting as a pursuit of truth and a real art form. You know, he's like he's a real deal kind of artist guy, and I think it's easy to frame it as sort of a job or like a fun thing, but like talking to him with his passion really kind of helped me focus in a different way.
Thank you for sharing that. It's really incredible. Thank you for all the amazing interviews you've done. Like I've learned a lot from you. So
sure. I've done some other acting too. I'm currently on Stick on Apple TV, and some people might remember Glow. But it's okay. You're getting there as an interviewer.
I appreciate that. That's high praise. Thank you, Mark. Awkwafina, I remember seeing you on YouTube in 2012 for the first time. Your career has been remarkable. Shang-Chi was incredible, Crazy Rich Asians, like really, really amazing work. Talk about your journey when you look back at that person on YouTube in 2012 releasing that song, and then now where you are. What does it mean to you?
Oh man, I feel like sometimes, you know, it all didn't happen, you know? And I think that, you know, all I really wanted was to be able to do this, you know, to make people laugh, and yeah, so I don't know what happened. I don't know how it all happened. But it happened, so yeah, it's been cool.
Yeah, well, you're incredible at what you do. Craig, I was looking up the other night, I was at the Laugh Factory, and you came on after a set that Dane Cook did. And you came out with a piano and you were doing comedy with the piano, which I thought was brilliant to watch. And I think comedy and music, they're beat driven. They're driven by beats and kind of like, and I'm curious if you could speak about the rhythm of music and how it really factors into your comedy. And when you do stand up, do you think about it like musical beats?
Well, thank you. And yes, actually, even in the way I looked at Hollywood was like, I gotta find a rhythm to it. Whatever I do, I have to find that, you know, and it's, and that comes for acting. Let's say I'm studying a scene, I'll even make a little song to try to memorize the words, or, you know, a little melody or what have you. So yeah, it's, for the comedy, I've always played and I've always been silly. So the marriage of music and comedy just came natural for me.
Thank you for sharing that. Anthony, I was lucky to see you in Hamilton on Broadway. Remarkable, and the work you've done since Twisters. I mean, you really had an amazing career. And I wanted to take me back to obviously being on that stage in Hamilton and kind of what that taught you that you've used forward in your career, with feeding off of the live audience, but also just the emotional journey you went on with that parts. And talk about like kind of what that meant to you and kind of how it factors into what you do today.
I mean, I was on stage, you know, 8 times a week with some hitters. You know, everybody in that cast is, you know, elite.
Also in the Heights.
Yeah, in the Heights, you know, in the Heights was, you know, that was an amazing experience. Getting to shoot that in New York, and you know, my mom's in the movie, my sister's in the, you know, and just me being Puerto Rican from New York, you know, shooting a Latino story means a lot. But yeah, being on stage with them guys from Hamilton, you know, it taught me so much, man. I mean, I had to. Like Ethan Hawke. I mean, I didn't watch all their stuff before, but you know, I definitely had to step it up, and I learned from all of them, Leslie and you know, Lynn and the whole squad. So, yeah, it was, and it changed my life.
Thank you for sharing that. We get to sit here in the audience today and have a communal experience to all sit here at Comic-Con together and just talk about art and what we love.
Ethan Hawke.
And Ethan Hawke.
Ethan Hawke.
But your film is going to be in theaters, and you're going to have audiences who are going to that theater, and they're going to have a communal, special experience with that movie, right? And it could be someone's first theatrical experience. It could be the most pivotal one they have. It could turn them into the artist that they become. I think we all have the moments in our lives where we saw a film in a theater that gave us the understanding of the true potential of what movies can do, that communal experience that we're all having right now. So I want to go down the line for each of you. I want you to share the first movie you remember seeing in a theater that gave you that understanding, that made you understand the power of art and how it can bring us together with a theater of strangers, and we're all feeling this experience that people are going to have with the bad guys too. So for each of you, I'll start with you, Maria. Do you remember the first movie you saw in a theater that meant a lot to you?
I mean, the first one must have been The Lion King. Because I've been a child. Yeah, The Lion King. That made me happy, it made me cry, it made me part of something bigger, something magical.
I'm gonna go super weird here, because I'm me. For some reason, two movies come to mind. Glory and Hoffa. You're welcome.
What was it about those experiences, though?
Gosh, I don't remember. I just remember watching them in a theater with my mother in Manhattan and sort of wondering if I was too young to be there, but enjoying it nonetheless. Excellent movies.
Danielle, what about you?
For me, it was Dreamgirls. I remember seeing it in college and in Harlem, theater full of people that looked like me sitting on the front row because I was late. And and when Jennifer Hudson sang "You're Gonna Love Me," when she sang that, oh my Lord, we all got on our feet, was clapping, it was church. I just never, ever, ever forget it.
And people had that experience seeing Color Purple.
Yes.
Hearing your voice. Like, that was such
Thank
an
you.
incredible performance. I've said it, but I have to say it again because you're a genius
Thank
in
you.
that.
Thank you.
Sam, what about for you, growing up? What was a movie?
Well, I have to say, I don't know if it was the first movie I saw, but the one that really had an effect on me, I was way too young to see it, was The Deer Hunter.
Here we go. I knew you were gonna take me
And
there.
I was like 10
Yes.
years old, way too young to see that. The Russian roulette scene was kind of intense. But I remember seeing the 1933 King Kong might have been the first one. But you know, you can't just say one movie. I got, The
Maybe.
Thing, American Werewolf in London, One Flew the Cuckoo's Nest. I mean, there's so many movies, yeah.
Just stick with The Deer Hunter. Excellent.
All right, we're gonna go with
Deer
The Deer
Hunter.
Hunter. Let's go with The Deer Hunter.
Mark.
Well, it seems to be a fairly common phenomenon. When I was about 11, my grandparents were in town visiting my family, and they took us to a movie, me and my little brother, and that movie was Deliverance. And
This is my favorite part so far.
and they got uncomfortable. They knew they had made a mistake. But we did sit through the whole movie, and I guess what I learned from that is there's a big world out there, and some of it's not great.
Wow. Deer Hunter and Deliverance back to back. That's
Don't
pretty
remember
incredible.
Hoffa and Glory were also involved.
Yes.
Aquafina?
I hate to say this, but Deuce Bigelow, Mel Gigolo.
Thank God for more.
Classic. Absolute classic. Craig Robinson.
Probably, I think it's Into the Dragon, one of those Bruce Lee movies where it was my father. It was like father-son time. My father would take me to see these. I mean, he and my mom were together, but it was just like it was that father. What I'm saying, that father-son bond. And I remember feeling that. I got one of these coins. It was like it couldn't have cost 10 cents, but it was this coin shaped like a silver dollar, and it was like Bruce Lee on the coin. I remember having that hero feeling, like that you know how you see the hero in the movie. I felt that, so I remember that as a kid.
Remember the first comedy you saw that kind of gave you understanding of how comedy can be communal?
First comedy. I mean, I would be Different Strokes or something like that.
Yeah.
That's way back.
Thank you for sharing that story about your Enter the Dragon. Anthony, what about for you?
Like first movie?
First movie that kind of gave you the understanding of like the power that this film will give to audiences.
I love Lord of the Rings, man.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
And you want Fellowship, Two Towers, or Return of the King guy?
Two Towers, Two Towers.
Nice.
Yeah, yeah, and like you know, I know they still got a TV show, so if y'all want to put your boy in that one time, you know. But and American Pie,
Yes,
American Pie, classic.
That was one of mine as well. Absolute classic. All right, we're gonna do some.
Can I change my answer to Friday?
Yes.
For the comedy movie,
Iconic.
because we were all in there rolling.
Shout out to F. Gary Gray, by the way. Phenomenal filmmaker. All right, let's take some audience questions because we got about 13 minutes left. And then I really want to get you guys to come up and ask some questions for